right. Cue the intro music. What? I said cue the intro music. All right, I'm pressing the live button now. Hey, we're live already. Shit. Never mind the cue music. Hey, everyone. Hello. Good afternoon, good evening, good morning. Yo soy Loso Notien de Blanc, and you are watching the best streaming podcast, telecast, whatever video in the entire world. It's season 2, episode 36 of my top 10 list of instruments that you can play with your butt. October 26, 2023, it's Halloween. Put in the comment section, what would you dress up as for Halloween if you were an actor? Because they're all on strike and you can't dress up like any kind of famous person from the past, any fictional character. You can't dress up as Peter Pan because that supports ABC and the Disney company. You can't dress up as Arnold Schwarzenegger, the Terminator. You can't even dress up. Mario? You can't dress up as any characters. Everyone has to be. You can't. What about a princess? What if you're not Cinderella? What if you're not Snow White? What if you just put on a damn dress and you put on so much makeup that you look like a combination of Barbie and Paris Hilton after they were thrown into the fire pit with Charlie or Chucky? That's his name. What if you took Chucky after he was tossed in the fire pit at the end of Child's Play and you mix him with Paris Hilton, present day Paris Hilton, and then old school Lindsay Lohan? No, you know what? No, actually, Lindsay Lohan present day with the fake lips and everything, and then you mix that with a Barbie doll, like a 1958 Barbie doll. And you just said, I'm princess, okay? I'm just a princess. Can you do that, or are you going to get criticized on social media because all of a sudden now your princess is... now you're celebrating Disney princesses. Why can't I just be a damn princess? You know what I could wear? I could wear like one of my grandma's pantsuits and say that I'm like, well, that would be a duchess. Well, Meghan Markle's probably going to just like wear some panties over her head and say, I'm a princess. That doesn't even make sense. Who wrote this? Anyways, I want to thank you for watching. Thanks for tuning in. I want to just recognize Diddly Fuck for with a PH. Obviously, he's from Thailand. And I want to say thank you. I've listened to your comment. I'm going to try to incorporate more farts because here I'm all about the people. All right? And if it wasn't for the people, we would not be challenging Elon Musk for the most dominant social media platform in the history of the universe. So with that said, I want to say thank you for making this possible. You could make donations to sick children all over the world by going on a search platform or a search engine and putting in how to donate money and then donate money. I hope that sick kids get better. Unless your parents have bad DNA and they were criminals, then maybe the Lord's calling you home because you have better work to do up there. That's what people are saying. Not me. I'm not saying that. A lot of people said that. I'm just repeating it. Don't kill the messenger. It's a lot of good things. Remember Instant Messenger on America Online? No one really does that anymore. It's all face. Dating was so much easier when we didn't have to see each other's face. Now all of a sudden you like dogs, I like dogs, but you have a mole. Not into that. Unless you're under the age of 30, that's okay. Can you sign this piece of paper? We're gonna get started with the episode. Vanna White is on the show today. Big round of applause. We'll fix that in post. We'll put in Vanna White. Vanna White is going through a dispute over her salary because she was making $1.5 million a year for the last 14 years and hadn't gotten a raise. And now that Pat Sajak is leaving, she is saying that no one will watch Wheel of Fortune if she's off the show. No one's going to watch Wheel of Fortune. Well, here's the thing. I got to let you know. People aren't watching Wheel of Fortune because they want to watch Pat Sajak. People aren't watching Wheel of Fortune because of Vanna White. People are watching Wheel of Fortune because they want to play hangman, all right, with their dogs while they are knitting a blanket for grandchildren they don't have because they don't have children. Trust me, Wheel of Fortune is not successful because of Vanna White and Pat Sajak. Wheel of Fortune is successful is because when it came on the air, it was the only thing that entertained stay-at-home moms and people that couldn't afford cable. What else is on at 6 o'clock? The news? And then it just became this like funneling machine for like advertising dollars for all the other ABC, Disney Incorporated products that have ties to this and ties to that. Let's hear all this. You notice that during commercials, all they do is they advertise all these insurance commercials with Tom Selleck, or it's baby toys. All right, Vanna White's making $1.5 million to walk down and touch. She's not even turning the letters anymore. She used to actually have to work and spin the letters. Now she's just tapping a button. Vanna White's be like, oh. $1.5 million. And here's the thing. Wheel of Fortune films like all their seasons episodes in like 5 months or something. They film like 3 episodes on a Monday, 3 episodes on a Tuesday, 3 episodes on a Wednesday. They film, I want to say, in 1 week, they film 2 weeks of episodes, something like that. So they film a month of episodes in 2 weeks, which means they essentially work 6 months a year, maybe even less. They work like 5 months a year. She's making $1.5 million to basically dress up in a dress, all right, and push a button 5 months out of the year. $1.5 million for 5 months out of the year. You know, we should be getting paid $1.5 million to have to watch her show us her bony ass in those ugly ass dresses. She's 63 years old and she's showing off her arms. She's starting to get the grandma flab. She's getting she's getting all Karen. You know what? I would pay Karen Carpenter more money than Vanna White to spin those damn letters. The hell wants to see that shit? They got to show her from the face up. Every time you see her from the face down, I think it's my Aunt Agnes coming back. Like, yo. And now she wants a raise to do 5 months of work. Here's the deal. What else are you going to do, Vanna? Because we seen you co-host when Pat was out. You're not really good at hosting. You're going to do a talk show? Who's going to tune in to the Vanna White podcast? Maybe that's what she does. Maybe that's the American way. Blackmail them and say, you know what? If you don't give me a raise, I'm going to start a podcast and I'm going to tell all the dirt on all the dead people who rubbed my butt in the 80s. Yeah, you always wondered why it was Taco Tuesday and there weren't any tacos. It wasn't because we were eating Mexican food. All right. They were eating chochita cubana. Opa. If I am Vanna White, I'm grateful because she can get endorsement money. She can hawk jewelry, right? And here's how they're thinking. Wheel of Fortune is thinking there are thousands of young models that would die to work 5 months of a year and do what you do for $50,000 a year. And what is stopping us from paying them $50,000 to do what you do? Vanna, you're not worth it. It's time to retire. Start your own. What are you coming out? Everyone's coming out with some kind of clothing line. Start a clothing line. Here's the show. Let's get into it. Damn you, Vanna White.
Hi there.
That's not Vanna White, by the way.
2023. Welcome to the show.
You know, Vanna White and Kelly Ripa combined way less than my foot.
Something I write about in my book. I don't know if you've read it.
How to binge and purge in New York City. That's what she writes in her book.
Some of you better get on it.
Get on what? The binging?
New Jersey's existential crisis.
Yeah, binging and purging.
I write about this
and
extensively
Botox.
in my book. Is there a Central Jersey?
Yes.
Now, there's purists like myself who say this. There is a North Jersey and a South Jersey. Thank you. Anyway, they are trying to figure out and define what constitutes the elusive Central Jersey.
Does Trenton have anything to do with it?
Yes, Trenton is what I like to call the demarcation line, the line in between North and South Jersey. They're saying Trenton and the surrounding areas around Trenton would be considered Central Jersey. I say, is there anybody here from Central Jersey? We have the most beautiful beaches, the shore, yeah. Anyway, I don't know if you're old enough like me to remember when there was, they put forth this mandate. They were trying to separate North and South Jersey
into 2 states?
As 2 separate states. And again, where would you go?
Well, let's give Central Jersey their own little kind of identity.
Piece of the pie?
Yeah, piece of the pie. Great news. Tinder now lets your parents view and suggest potential mates.
Oh,
and matches.
I like that. I think that's a good thing.
If
Wow.
you can add
How
your
ugly
you can
and-
add your friends.
How ugly are you that your parents
list,
got to use a
and they
dating
can
app to
either
hook you
swipe
up?
right or swipe left for you.
No.
Can you imagine if one of our kids said, "Mom,
Desperate.
what do you think of this?"
Oh, your kids
Have
are
we
more
ever
likely to
suggested
buy
any
professionals
suggestions?
from
It's never really worked though,
third
right?
world countries.
Not since Lisa Rinna and I tried to set our kids up on a date.
Right. Messi. The Messi jersey, that pink, beautiful jersey.
Yes.
Lionel Messi for the Miami.
He said the word nice,
Miami
you got to
team
drink. Whenever
is
Mark
the
says
most
nice, you got to drink a
elusive
shot.
jersey
Nice.
on the planet.
That nice
Wait,
pink
why is
jersey.
that?
You can't get one.
That beautiful,
There's such
nice
high
pink.
demand
Not the ugly
for
pink.
the jersey. I think what happened
The
was
We
nice
can get one
pink.
here, can't we? Can't we use our press credentials?
they're saying that
Can we use
Adidas
our power
and
and our
their
influence?
manufacturer, when they heard the rumor, they were like, there's no way he's going to come to Miami. And then when he did, they were kind of caught off guard.
So it's
guard.
a supply chain.
Supply change, but
When Kelly says, "Can we use our credentials?" What she means is, "Can I suck somebody's dick?"
It's an interesting pink. It's
Think
not
it's a
just
jersey?
pink, but it has an interesting look, and people are wearing it all
Can
over
I
the
blow
United States. And
someone?
more
That's how I got
importantly,
this job and all my children.
Lionel Messi is very smart. He gets a piece of every jersey.
Oh, so he's creating like a, yeah. We used to think that about your Stump Mark t-shirts, but since you've been on such a losing streak, they're no longer as rare as they once were.
They're not, are they?
Yeah, no. Now it seems like anyone on the street can get one.
Yeah.
So here's something interesting. They say that if people tend to dress like, they always say, like, are you warm? Are you cool? You know, are you an autumn dresser? Are you a spring dresser? Like your color palette and what you wear. They're saying that really has nothing to do with it. Your complexion has nothing to do with it. It's your eye color that you should dress to complement.
Really?
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Huh. I wear different versions of black.
Yes.
In this color, what's this color?
Green.
Green, like a military green.
Yes, like an olive.
Just in case you need to snap into action somewhere.
Yes, right.
That's kind of my go-to.
That's your uniform.
Yeah, maybe a little gray if I'm feeling, down.
When Mark and I are on vacation, I have the unique privilege of getting to unpack his suitcase, which I don't mind telling you is an exercise in like Groundhog's Day. Because what I do is I unpack 12 identical black t-shirts and 6 identical olive cargo pants. And I hang them in the closet. And then for whatever reason, you always bring an inordinate amount of underpants.
What, do you want the newspapers to say
You bring no less
retired
than
Abercrombie and
30 pairs
Finch
of
Finch
underpants
model
for a
found
4-day
dead by
trip.
suicide?
I can tell you why. I forgot underpants one trip not too long ago.
Oh, no one gives a shit
And
about
it scarred me.
Tell me
vagina.
about okay.
It scarred me.
Tell me
Retired
about
Abercrombie and Fitch model
because
found
we've been
dead by
married
suicide.
for
It was on,
20
I went to work on business, so I was for a show, and so I was only going to be there for a week, and I didn't pack any underwear.
Okay.
No one wants to
freaked
hear
me
this
out.
shit.
And so I went and bought. I mean, it's not that hard. You go to a store and you buy underwear. So I did that, but it was quite unsettling.
It was unsettling buying underwear.
Wasn't your brand?
What's that?
Wasn't your brand?
Oh, I had my brand. I found my brand, but you just never know if they're going to have your brand. And plus, it's not like I could wash them before I wore them. So that freaked me out as well.
Oh, yeah, because you're going to get AIDS from
So
fucking
now
store-bought underwear.
I overpack underwear.
I'll say.
Bring out Vanna White, please.
Today.
Yeah, I can go through, especially on vacation.
You have to go through like 15 pairs of
I
different
wear
through
the
two
same
pair
underwear
a
for
day.
at least a week, if not
get
10
through
days,
the amount of underpants
before I
on
change them.
vacation.
Unless
It
I
is
shit in
extraordinary.
my pants. Then that's
but it's
different.
like
It's only
very-
3
it's
days
interesting.
before I
I'm like,
change them.
He packed the same exact outfit for the whole trip. He's going to wear
It's a
the
little
same
different.
thing, but he's just gotten like slightly different
That's it.
fabrics
That's
of
right.
the same pants.
That's right.
The black t-shirts are all identical.
Yeah.
Same make, same model, same everything.
Yeah.
But that's what he packs. That is it.
Once a guy finds the t-shirt he likes, because you would not it's hard to find the perfect t-shirt for your body. And once you find it, because a lot of times you'll find one, you buy them, and then either two things happen. They stop making them, or they go out of business, or they change the fabric. And then it's really annoying. You ever go to a restaurant where a dinner jacket is required on a vacation? We did that. And Mark, of course, only has black T-shirts and his khaki pants, or his... I do have a couple collared shirts I bring just in case. Back to the study, they're saying that you should dress according to your eye color. I don't know what that means. Like, should I only wear blue?
Well, blue's a good color for you.
It is a good color for you. All right, nomad life. You might be retired, but people are still on the go. So
this is what I want to do.
This is what I want to do.
Retirees are doing one of two things.
Around.
Yeah.
They'll get an RV.
Let's
they'll
have sex
sell their
in the Grand
house.
Canyon.
They'll sell all their underwear. And they'll just hitch it up to their car, and they just go from place to place to place. Or
doesn't that sound like fun?
No.
Okay, that sounds like more work.
Yes.
But okay.
The boat is fine if it's a yacht.
They do that.
They just sail around.
Retiring on the road or ocean isn't always smooth sailing.
Okay.
Tight quarters.
You want to make sure. How big is the boat?
We're small people.
We're small people.
Is it like overboard with Kurt Russell and Goldie Hawn?
And we, you know.
Although we have been on a boat, you and I together recently.
Don't tell me.
And
another
when things go
stupid
south,
fucking story.
it's not. I think that like there's a lot of like when you're on a boat, and things are going bad. People need to be in unison because it's very dangerous. I'm not a good communicator when things are going bad because
he keeps it all in his head.
I'm doing.
Well, you're talking about these are boats that have. We were on a boat that was like a floating sofa. Okay, so picture this table, but it has a motor attached to it, and picture Mark in the complete darkness. Shuts down, realizes he doesn't know where he is, and decides to go on his phone. And he says to me, just let me know if any other boats are coming. And I go, every other boat is coming.
Open your iPhone. I was trying to get my GPS on the boat. It froze, so I went on my phone and I was trying to figure out. And when I finally came on, then I left the light on top. They could see us. I just wanted to know where they're going because I was trying to figure it out.
I was just like, let's just follow the parade of boats. They all seem to know.
But they're going two different. There's two different marinas they're going to. This way or that way. We wanted to go that way. We started going that way, and I knew I was wrong. But you were very helpful.
Which is why I think an RV is the way for us to go.
Mark,
I think an RV is our jam.
Could you drive it?
Could I drive an RV?
Could you drive it? Would you want to back one up?
I would learn how to drive an RV. My dad, let me remind you, was a bus driver for New Jersey Transit.
That has nothing to do with what your 5'2", 90-pound ass can do.
That's not working for the Defense Department.
And you think you're in the military.
Launch missiles somewhere.
You constantly think that you're in the military.
What your dad did and what my dad did
has nothing to do. Has nothing to do. Shut the fuck up!
It doesn't come over to you.
Your raggedy ass fucking childish arguing.
I learned how to drive.
I could drive an RV because my dad drove it, but your dad was a fucking man with a penis, and he had muscles, and he was smart. So what? You ratchet slut.
Driver, sweetie. You do a lot of things well.
I don't.
You do a lot of things well. I don't bake cakes well, but you also don't drive well.
Let me tell you something. If you who's had more violations?
Well, because
that's he drives more. You don't drive that much because you know you suck. I've seen you drive.
I don't get a speeding ticket, a parking ticket.
That's because you barely drive and you only drive in like rural country towns.
Who's hit more things with the car that we own? Who's hit more things?
You have. You ripped the whole side of our
Talk about percentage though. Percentage.
You have. You again.
Lightning's gonna come down.
Get me.
Everybody move away.
She's a liar. She's a liar. I would never drive across the country relying on Kelly. She'd have to sit on a booster chair and have a fucking what's it called? Like a piece of cement helping her reach the pedals.
I want you to know that he is completely lying in front of you. And by the way, dare I say? Comfortable lying in front of it all. Comfortable.
Where is he?
We're all being gaslit. Ripped the whole side of our garage door off.
Oh, yeah.
And also, when you pulled in, you didn't stop. You were like, the hell with it.
Agree to disagree.
Okay.
Mic drop.
He's lying. He's lying. Double mic drop. These are lies being perpetrated.
We're going to
Let
play
me tell-
Stump Mark Marriage Edition.
Yes.
Yeah.
Stump Mark, what does your wife like to eat? Go.
Chia seeds with shaved coconut with some fruit on top of it. Hold on. Or a Bircher muesli with some nuts on it.
And she likes
Or
mixed
that,
berries. Mixed berries,
maybe an
coconut
avocado
on yogurt.
toast. There you go.
Great. Now what? Now you get to have sex with
What
your
do I
wife?
like for breakfast?
That's a punishment.
What will you order me in the restaurant?
Eggs Benedict. You'll like it. You selfish,
What
ungrateful
will you
wench.
inevitably default to because
Eggs
there is a
Benedict.
chip missing?
Eggs Benedict.
There is something missing internally
Yeah.
that will not
Right, he
allow
gets it
you
from
to
his-
order
he gets
me
it from his
any
mom.
of those things you just
His dad worked for the defense department and was rich and powerful to find a poor hot woman that was desperate. His mom was a gold digger. Mark Consuelos' mom was a gold digger and found a man that had job and financial security.
Continues with a lesson in pumpkin carving.
God.
Adam Bearton is here, who's made special pumpkins for
Adam
us.
Beardson.
You have
Pumpkins. Oh,
oh my
ooh, where can I go online and buy that? What is it, $80? I really want a homemade pumpkin.
God. That is iconic.
Or it's fertilizer.
Oh my gosh. How long will that?
Our house.
No,
You
let's
should
not
shove
put
that
that
up
in
your
front of our
ass
house.
is
We
what
don't
you
need
should
to
do.
advertise.
Remember, Gelman says, I'm not going to
All right, you all know
advertise
what
anything.
time it
On
is. It's
put
time
money
to
in my
play.
pocket for my synagogue.
Let's say hello to Frank Berry from Milton Manors, Florida, who watches the show on WPLG. Good morning, Frank. How are you?
Good morning, Kelly and Mark and Deja. I'm good. How are you guys?
Doing good.
We're doing great.
All right, you know how this game is played. You've given us two statements. One is true, one is false. I have 60 seconds to decide which is the truth. If you stump me, you'll win this. And this. All right, here are Frank's statements. I met an Oscar Award winner on a flight.
Ooh.
Or I went skydiving and landed in the trees. All right, which Oscar Award winner did you meet on the flight?
Sissy Spacek.
Oh my gosh, how
All
exciting.
right.
And
That's a lie.
And where
It's
were
true
you
that he
from
went skydiving
to?
and landed in the trees.
I was
First impression,
flying
guys.
from Texas, actually, to LaGuardia, New York.
Okay.
all right, and she was lovely.
She was amazing, and I met her husband as well.
True.
And what's her husband's name?
Harry.
That I don't know.
No.
That is correct.
They met, but it wasn't on a flight. That's what I bet. Lie. True.
Are you a skydiver? Have you done it multiple times?
Of course he's
Did
gonna
you
say
go just
yes.
once?
I just went once, yes.
So did you jump tandem then?
Yes.
All by myself. Boy, was I scared.
Oh, liar. The way he said
Okay,
that with his
you
tone of
jumped your
voice.
first flight. You jumped out of a
Truth.
plane the first time by yourself?
Yes, yeah, I jumped out by myself about 10,000 feet.
Uh-huh.
Truth.
All right. All right,
Is
Frank.
that allowed?
Why are you asking Gelman? Gelman doesn't know, but he's like,
Sissy
yes.
Spacek on a flight.
That's false.
You are absolutely right.
Yes.
Oh. That's bullshit. What a terrible.
Frank.
I tried.
Rookie mistake, Frank. We know too much about skydiving on this show. They never just, they never just hand you a parachute and let you jump out.
And say, God bless. I'm sorry you didn't win the mug or the t-shirt, but you still have a chance to win a great trip. It's time for Pack Your Bags Travel Trivia.
Today's trivia dancer is Alexandria Arunga from Kenya, East Africa.
Anyways, I can't rewind it, so no comparing today. Although she looks like my next
Deja,
wife.
spin the wheel to see what Frank's playing for. Okay, Frank, you're playing for a trip for two to the Buccaneer in St. Croix.
It's all Vanna
7
White's
days,
fault.
6 nights in a deluxe oceanfront room. It includes
Or should I
3
call her
meals
Vanna
daily.
Caucasian?
It's a prize valued at $9,500. You have 20 seconds and only one guess. Good luck, Frank.
All right,
Thank
Frank.
you.
Earlier this week, we talked with John Stamos.
Yeah.
What General Hospital guest star first had John Stamos play the drums on television?
Your mother.
Sammy Davis Jr.
Congratulations! You and a guest will enjoy 7 days and 6 nights at the Buccaneer in St. Croix. Founded in the 17th century and family-run for generations, the Buccaneer in St. Croix is both historic and modern, blending old-world charm with warm hospitality and the amenities expected by today's traveler. The Buccaneer is a premier destination resort for golf, tennis, water sports, weddings, honeymoons, and family vacations. Your prize is valued at approximately $9,500.
I'm so happy you won, Frank, after Mark robbed you of your rightful prize of that t-shirt and mug. Enjoy your trip.
Thank you so much, guys. We love you.
All right, now you get to make the day of a lucky member of our studio audience who will win a $500 Instacart gift card. So please pick a number between 1 and 123.
12.
I'm going to pick number 27.
27.
27.
Did anyone have 27 in the pool? You just won $5,000 courtesy of my bank account. Whoa, mamacita mia, ven vuela yo conmigo.
Congratulations. All right, coming up next, Vanna White.
Vanna White. Wasting my
Our
time.
countdown to Halloween continues with a lesson in pumpkin carving. Monica Megan shares some amazing fall fashion bargains for 50% off. And coming up next, Vanna White. She runs and plays like a...
This is what I hate about not having shit recorded, is I couldn't do the dance. And it's all Vanna White's fault. So now I got to multitask. And I got to say that if I went to Vanna White and said, look, here's the deal. You keep on making $1.5 million a year, or you leave the show, and I will replace you with some 22-year-old girl that is living in a 4-bedroom apartment with 9 girls, sleeping on the floor.
847.
And guess what? I'll pay her 1/10 of your salary, and I'll give her a nice office with all the free therapy she wants, and she'll take it. Vanna White, I love you, but you don't deserve 1.5. You get more free time than teachers do, and you make 7 figures. They will replace you with someone hotter that Ryan Seacrest will claim to be his next girlfriend because, you know what? New beards never get old. Now we're back to the show. Make sure to like that button and subscribe.
Calm down.
And dislike the buttons too.
You know something?
No, you're a whore.
They use this word far too
I
often.
apologize for the
but
language.
In this case, it actually counts. She has been a television icon.
Oh, here we go.
Icon
Here we go,
for more than
ABC,
4 decades.
trying to do
Please
their
welcome
best
the heart and
to
soul
help
of
her
Will
get her
and Fortune,
paycheck.
Vanna
She's an
White.
icon. She deserves $3 million. She's not an icon. She's not an icon. If she was an icon, she would have her own TV show. She'd have a fashion line. She'd be a billionaire. An icon for what? My grandma's an icon. You know why? Because she picked corn out of a farm and fucking guys whistled at her. That's it. She's an icon. Women helping women.
Backstage was buzzing.
It
People were
was.
so
People
excited.
were losing their
Right.
minds.
We're gonna stop watching Wheel of Fortune if you get rid of wearing a Vanna White.
Celebrities backstage all
Get
the
outta
time.
here.
Be cool.
10% of the people watching Wheel of Fortune are
So
blind.
You and Pat have been coming into
Here we
our
go.
living rooms.
Yes.
Our
Here's Kelly
case
trying to
bedroom,
help
'cause
her
we're always
pretend to be a
with
lawyer,
by the
helping
time
her
the show comes on,
be a
which
case,
I'm
help her case to make
embarrassed
more
say.
money.
But for 40 years, I
Yes.
mean, it's
Right.
really incredible.
Right.
And do you have a favorite memory or moment in all of those years, or does it all
Well,
become one
if
big
you
thing?
exclude the sexual harassment
It's
from
such
the
a great
80s.
show. It's a happy show. People love to watch because you love to see people win.
Right, not to
It
see
changes
me and my
people's
bony
lives. So
white
every time I
ass.
go to work, it's a positive thing.
Yeah.
So it's great. And we wouldn't be here without you for 40 years. So thank you all for all these years of loyalty.
Have you thought about the final spin with Pat?
I can't think about it.
Yeah.
After
Yeah.
41 years
Yeah, the
together,
nostalgia, yeah.
yeah, it's hard.
What have you to discuss, like, between yourselves? Like, have you tried to say, okay, we should make it
No.
like a very
We discussed
memorable moment?
who's gonna
Or
get
have you not
custody of our
discussed it?
We
children.
haven't discussed it. We have not.
Well-
But I mean, you guys are married and everything. You know how this works. I mean, we've been together for so long. When he walks up the stairs, I can tell what kind of a mood he's in.
Yeah.
You know, after all these years.
No, but for years, I mean,
Look,
I think I
you
speak
should
for a
fire
lot
Vanna.
of people. I thought you and Pat were married.
give Ryan all the money. He's a girly
Imagine
man,
my
so you kind of
surprise.
appease
We
both
went back into our
demographics.
house for dinner one night,
And
I was
you
like,
weren't there.
I was like, oh my god,
That's funny.
Vanna must have gotten divorced.
It was too funny.
So, have you spoken to Ryan yet?
I have spoken to Ryan.
Okay.
He's so nice. He's
Yes.
so excited.
Yes.
Yeah.
I was very happy because, you know, when a host leaves and another host comes in, you never know what you're going to get. And I was like, oh, Pat is such a nice guy
Yes.
that I was happy that the new version
Yeah.
of Pat would also be a nice guy.
Vanna,
And
oh, I'm sorry. Go ahead.
you have to tell me everything.
Oh, okay, let me tell
Okay,
you.
we're going to give you that. We're going to
Well,
tell you.
he has a boyfriend.
I'm gonna step in.
named
Sorry.
Johan.
He can't spell.
Yeah. He cannot spell it all.
Has he texted you at all? Have you been received texts?
Yeah, he has text.
And they're
Maybe he's on his best behavior.
But he's great at giving hand jobs to
Dictating
old
the
white
text
Jewish
and
men.
Somebody's typing it for him. Because I will say, and
Allegedly.
I can say this freely, we have all experienced it here. When Ryan Seacrest texts you, you say to yourself, this person is trying to tell me something. That's the first thing, is that you realize that Ryan is trying to tell you something, but oftentimes you just don't know what that is.
Thanks for the warning.
Have you had any rehearsals yet? No.
No, not
Okay.
yet. Not yet.
But in 41 years, have you thought about the amount of times you've walked out onto the stage, the amount of dresses you've tried
claps.
on, the amount of claps that you've had?
Yes.
Like, you've got to hold world records and all of that.
And you
I
thought
have
to
worn
yourself,
almost 8,000 dresses.
I don't deserve the money I'm making.
And I don't know how many millions of miles I've walked.
Put in the comment section, would you bang her for
Yes.
Yeah.
Millions of
1,000
miles.
plus gift certificates
now
to
on your free
McDonald's?
time. Do you stay away from word games or
Crossword
puzzles, or crossword puzzles, or do you have?
Oh, I love the
participate in?
questioning.
I
It's
do
so
Wordle.
You do Wordle.
it's all
I do.
invigorating.
Is that bad?
Yes, it is, man.
Are you good?
I do
Like,
Words with Friends too.
you do?
Whoa,
words with
wow,
friends.
this
Okay,
is,
so those are
yeah.
two.
So you guys can spell.
check
Yes.
that off the bucket
We
list.
can spell.
Yeah, I'm not spelling is not my strong suit.
No?
No, I'm actually quite, I'm abominable at spelling. Even when the puzzle is solved on Wheel of Fortune, it takes me a minute to figure out what it says. Like, I'm not proud of it. It is it's my boogaboo. I'm like, Marco's like, what do you mean you don't understand what that says?
Yeah, it's true. It's true. Hey, listen, we need to take a little break, but when we
Okay.
come back, we're going to talk about with Vanna, talk about beauty after 40. After this. Yeah.
Still ahead on Live. You won't want to miss today's fall bargains. All for 50% off.
My mom's ridiculous. This is what I'm eating for breakfast because of Vanna White. I've gone off the wagon and I've stopped drinking alcohol and I'm actually eating pasta. This is shells and cheese. It's like macaroni and cheese, but instead of macaroni, it's shells. And then it's got some diced ham and some eggs. And I make the over easy eggs and I crack the yolk and mix the yolk with the sauce. So it's like a carbonara thing, but with cheese. So it's like, I don't know, shells and cheese carbonara with scallions, ham, and eggs. Vanna White. Does Vanna White? I'm surprised they didn't do the whole. Oh, Vanna White, you've been doing the show for so long. You must have started when you were 10 years old. You look great for your age. How often do you dye your hair? Is it as often as me? Oh my God, that's so good. Oh, this is Mario Lopez trying something. Oh, look at that. We're going to get right in there. Look at that. Oh, that's good. Oh, that's good. I ain't mad at that. You know what it needs? It needs a little chili. It needs like a little bit of jalapeno. Because they can't make it hot for me, man. This is good. I like that. Yeah. This reminds me of the dish that Tiffany Thiessen made for me 25 years ago on Saved by the Bell, right before I got her pregnant. Mr. Belding was watching. He said to call him Dennis, but no. We said, we're going to call you Mr. Belding. It kind of turns us on. Why do people say all the time? Since when did Arthur Fonzarelli make a comeback? I mean, it's like if Fonzie like fell down in the bathroom and hit his head on the toilet. Can you imagine every day Happy Days with him just saying hey all the time? Hey.
4071.
Anyways, more time wasting with Vanna White.
You'll feel confident that you made the right.
You got a new host. Get rid of the girl. Bring in a young girl. Right? You could save so much money. Give all the right. Look, Brian make his money because he's the host. He has job responsibilities, and there's some kind of talent with timing. Vanna White, I'm telling you, go to one of the old. You know who'd be great? Meghan Markle. Meghan Markle used to be on a terrible game show. She's got experience being worthless and trying to look hot on a worthless game show. Bring Meghan Markle. Pay her nothing. Say, you know what? We'll give you a podcast and we'll push it on all Disney-owned platforms. And we'll let you go shopping at I don't know, an old Radio Shack or something like that. Meghan Markle will be the greatest because she'll do it for $30,000 and just the stage time. She'll just want to be on TV. And then she'll tell everyone I'm a professional game show producer. Give her production credit, pay her nothing. That's it. Or go find some 19-year-old. I'm telling you, you can find a 19-year-old girl in California and that barely eats
66-650-4071.
and will work for weed. That's what I would do. Find someone and pay them with weed and followers. Say, we'll give you followers. And all you got to do is push this button. And then you can poke to your panties.
I can't believe I'm reading this.
It's a joke.
This is your first ever beauty line?
Oh,
you
great. The
and
Vanna
Laura
White.
Geller together are collaborating?
Want to look like Vanna White?
And
buy
they
the
have
slipstick for
collaborated to make
$75.
this incredible
And
kit.
you
There's
too
six-
can make men
six
run
different
away in less than
items,
5 seconds.
And it's everything you need to look pretty.
Oh, what a great salesperson you are.
Like you, Vanna.
Oh,
That's $1.5 million worth of talent right there.
No, I'm serious.
No, it's great.
Why should we buy your Vanna White beauty line products? Well, because it's stuff that makes you look pretty. Oh my gosh. Look at that wrinkly ass skin. I think I'd rather fuck a turtle instead of looking at her
it's great. It
cracky
has
ass face.
lipstick. It has blush, and it incorporates Wheel of Fortune, like the eyeshadow kit.
It looks like
the
the
puzzle
colors.
board.
Oh, so it's like a...
Oh,
yeah.
so
How to be? I mean, after all this time.
They did a little research, and Laura Geller did the research and said, you know what? Your fans are, enjoy our makeup, so why don't we do something together? I said, that's a great idea.
Sure. I need the money.
So
That really is a great
blush
idea.
has the wheel on it, and the primer is the $1 million wedge. It's green.
Oh, that's so cool.
It really is. Yeah, right?
It's a terrible product, but it's cute.
Actually a great gift.
And
Only
I
$800.
obviously have to wear makeup on the show, and I'm always made up. So how perfect is
Do
it?
you, in real life, when you're not on camera, you're not out promoting and doing that, are you like I am, where it's there's nothing on your face?
100%.
Yes.
maybe a little bronzer.
Yeah, I mean,
color.
under duress.
Yes.
Under duress, if I have to go to the supermarket, maybe a little bronzer. Yeah.
Well, it was great having you.
Because
on
we
the
have to
show.
change the color of our skin. Got to make ourselves look
More
tan.
information on Vanna's collaboration with Laura Go to our website, and we'll be right back. Stick around.
Tomorrow on Live from Real Housewives of Beverly Hills, Kyle Richards.
Kyle Richards, another one I wouldn't mind taking to Blueberry Hill with a bag over her head. Remember when she used to be on ER because she did favors for an old white powerful man? All right. All this selling crap with whoever this girl is, for some reason, I think that YouTube thinks I'm trying to sell stuff on I don't know, on the platform. So I just listen to this stuff because I don't want them to
QR
think.
code. And
I think
you
I got in
purchase
trouble.
Anything you want. All right. So let's get shopping with Monica May.
I think I got a warning because they thought I was trying to sell shoes because of something on the TV. So stare at my drapes.
Okay.
And make sure to like and dislike the video.
Finds, and we partner with great brands as
There's
always.
some young
This is one of
person
our
told me I could
favorites.
say
This
that.
is yummy. So we've had them on before, and this is a huge fan favorite. So this is shapewear that kind of gives you a hug, not a squeeze. It's
Okay.
not painful, really
Oh,
comfortable.
so
we
it
have
skins.
undergarment ones that go in like long shorts, underwear style, bras. We also over here have bodysuits.
So
that
it's a
are not
knockoff version of
uncomfortable.
Spanx,
So they're
again.
kind of slimming, and they don't hurt when you snap them, which is huge.
Okay.
And then something that I really love is these faux leather leggings.
Yeah.
Because basically you can be really, really comfy, feel like you're in pajamas, but look pretty chic and like dress them up and go out on the weekend.
Cute.
Really cute, right? We can wear this
And
today.
I like this bra, by the way.
Yes, and they have padded ones too.
Yes,
Not
I
saying you
know,
need it,
I know.
just
Well,
saying, just
Every
saying.
little bit helps.
All right, next is Born, and this is a super high quality shoe brand. They've been in my closet for over 10 years. And right now, this season, I knew you were going to put that on.
I know.
Clogs are so in style, and these have hand stitching and a really comfortable footbed. So you don't just look good, they're actually really
Wait
comfy.
a minute.
Right?
Yes.
They're really
You
cool.
can't see that, but
And
she
I
has
feel
them
like
on and
you
they're
can
great.
throw these really good too.
To put them back in the closet,
Yeah.
throw it across. Yeah, really good. And I like that this can kind of work for work. A lot of people are going back to work or on the weekend at home. Really, tons of options.
I like those.
So cute, right?
It's great on you, babe.
You know,
All right.
it's a size too small, but I will get my
We'll
size.
get you your
Yes,
size.
okay.
Okay. Mally and Lily, these are crossbody bags.
They're
And
so
I
great.
love, everybody's wearing a crossbody. It's just so convenient. And these kind of pack fashion with everything you need for functionality too. And these are only $20.
Are you serious?
$20. I mean, I want to buy every color. It comes in 5 different colars that we have. I'm not saying we should start holiday shopping, but you should.
No,
These
but
are
we
great.
should start holiday shopping. And also, it's like wallet, phone,
Everything in
cosmetics.
it.
You can
So
fit right in. So
Okay, this is Ryan Simkai glasses, and we have readers, we have blue light, we have polarized sunglasses, and they're all oh, look how chic you are. A lot of really great
You look
women's
cute.
styles.
Yes.
And again, these are under $20. And feel how heavy they are.
They are.
They
They're
don't
really-
pull.
they're real glasses.
Those are so cute on
Are
you.
these cute on me? I think they're cute on me.
Great.
Really
Yeah.
I can't.
Tons of different styles. Yeah, you are prescription.
I do need my prescription for sure.
Okay, Tech Candy. So we have a huge assortment online of all different things that help with charging. They also are very cute looking, but I want to point out a couple here. So this I love. You can keep it in your purse. It's a fan, all right?
Oh
You
my
see how,
gosh.
the warm moments strike, but it's also a charger. Okay, so all of these
Wait,
things
so you can charge your
your phone too. So it's a
with
charger.
your menopause fan?
With your menopause fan. All right, same thing with this. This is a compact,
Here.
all right, with a light in it. Charge
Hang on,
it
I
up.
just gotta toss that. That's on me, Shelly. Oh, yeah. She broke it.
We'll get,
I'll get her a new
another
one.
one. So tons of different things, from like wristlets to hold your phone on so you don't drop it. There's a really great lanyard that I love. There's so many options here, and a lot of adapters. So I
yeah.
just got a new
Adapters.
phone.
Oh, look at
and
Mark.
no one else
Adapters. I had to
has
say
an
first,
adapter
I'm
for it.
smart.
So
Hey,
if
Mom,
I
look,
want
I'm
these,
smart.
I can use all my old chargers with an adapter.
Oh, that's incredible.
I'm not stupid like you, Mom.
Okay. Quick question. They call it the bad guy blocker, but but it's to cover your webcam when you don't want it on. Like when you're working from home too, like how many times do you make sure that is off, right? So absolutely simple, put it right on. Yeah, you should get that.
Put it, where do we put it?
Over the camera. Yeah, and you can
iPad.
slide it on and off so that you definitely, I've been using a sticky note, it falls off. This is so much better.
All right, footwear.
All right, so
I love these. I love these so much.
this is Floopy, and we've had their flip-flops on before.
We got their flip-flops, their slippers. Yep.
And now this is the ankle boot that is perfect for winter. All right, so these are for
daytime
going out to
television
walk the
now.
dog.
They've
They
become
look
a
great with
fucking
our leggings.
eBay
They
garage
can dress
sale.
them up,
Like
dress them up.
that's
They're
what
so
television
cozy,
is
they're
now.
comfortable.
So
Don't have
cozy.
enough money.
It's just a winter staple.
It's a garage. I mean, half of the daytime talk show is freaking QVC.
You can start holiday shopping right now.
Right now, like just scan that code.
These terrific bargains are exclusively available to you, our viewers, but only for the next 24 hours at KellyMark.com. Monica will be back tomorrow with ideas for last-minute Halloween costumes.
great.
Next, how to become a pumpkin carving pro. Stick around. Great.
Check out all of these bargains for the next 24 hours only.
And what's their face? And you know what? The minute this segment's over, they're gonna sit there and take one of everything for free, and they're not even gonna use it. What was that thing with the phone? You have a thing and you slide over the camera thing, so that way your phone's always covered, so like you can't be hacked into it.
They call it the bad guy blocker, but it's to cover your webcam when you don't want it on. Like when you're working from home too, like how many times do you make sure that is off, right? So absolutely simple, put it right on. Yeah, you should get that.
Put it, where do we put it?
Look at Mark's face. He was like looking around like, almost like, wait a minute. He's trying to make it seem like, oh, that's for our protection. But Mark was looking around like, holy shit, you made these? Oh, am I not going to be able to hack through and see my neighbors anymore?
How many times do you make sure that is off, right?
Look at his face. He's like, huh, what?
Simple, put it right on.
We should do that.
Yeah, you should get that.
Put it, where do we put it?
Over the camera.
Yeah, put it on your iPad. Yeah. Who the hell's... Oh, great. Isn't this great? You know what? I was so looking forward to pro pumpkin carving tips because when I carve a pumpkin, I want to know, how do the professionals do it? I try to get into the Professional Pumpkin League channel on ESPN.com, and I can't get it. So this is my luck. I apologize in advance, but it seems like the local ABC affiliate has decided to break in with a special report that, hey, more people have been shot and killed. So if you're interested in, getting depressed or having mental health problems due to the unsensical violence, stay tuned. And just make sure, I would dislike this video because, first of all, Vanna White was on it. Second of all, I didn't have enough time to do my mimicking dance. And then we got Monica hawking you garage sale junk. This is all the clearance rack at Macy's.
Oh, poor thing. She looks exhausted.
That's not weaker, honey.
Jesus.
Next time, Hal Richards from Real Housewives and Caroline Ray. Plus, live
And look,
Halloween.
they messed up the Wicked Witch's socks. Aren't they green and black? Look at
That's
that.
not weaker, honey.
Anyways.
Next time, Hal Richards from Real Housewives and Caroline Ray. Plus, live Halloween show is coming.
You keep dog food in the fridge?
Yeah, you keep dog food in the fridge. That's right. I feed my dog human food and I have sex with it. All right? Because dogs are human beings.
Good morning. I'm
Here.
Blake Johnson in
This
Lewiston,
is what I'm
Maine,
getting.
We're coming on the air with that breaking news. Officials about
Mass
to deliver
shooting.
a press conference.
I'm
about that
disliking this
deadly
video.
Mass shooting right here last night. At least
If you want to
16
dislike
people
it, go
killed,
ahead.
Dozens
I
more
apologize.
injured.
I'm trying to
Officials
call
coming the
Gelman.
microphones.
He keeps on
But listen,
sending me pics of his eggplant. And I can't tell if it's the vegetable or his penis.
Thank you for being here. You may notice my voice is a little hoarse
Great. Oh.
after working through the night.
Oh, well, thank you. Oh, well.
As you
God
all
forbid we
know,
assume you're lazy.
Last night, locals, county, state, and federal law enforcement officers from around the state of Maine responded to reports of an active shooter at several locations in Lewiston, including Spare Time Recreation and Shenanigans Bar and Grill. These law enforcement officers, in the face of danger, responded swiftly, selflessly, and with great bravery. bravery that they continue to demonstrate today as they search tirelessly for a person of interest in connection with last night's events. On behalf of all Maine people, I express my deep gratitude for your response and for your continued service. I also do so for Maine's hospitals and other medical emergency responders. I'm profoundly saddened to stand before you today to report that 18 people lost their lives and 13 people injured in last night's attacks. In memory of those we lost and in honor of those who were injured, President Biden and I have ordered all U.S. flags and state of Maine flags to be lowered to half-staff immediately for the next 5 days. Maine State Police have issued a shelter-in-place order for Lewiston, Lisbon, and Bowdoin as the manhunt for that person of interest, Robert Card of Bowdoin, continues. I will let law enforcement speak to the ongoing manhunt and to their investigation, but Mr. Card is considered armed and dangerous, and police advise that Maine people should not approach him under any circumstances. I continue to strongly urge Maine people to follow the direction
If I live in Maine and I see him and I got a gun, I'm shooting his ass. Allegedly.
Please, if you see anything suspicious, please call 911.
Well, my grandma ain't taking her medicine.
There's still many things we don't yet know about these attacks, but the full weight of my administration is behind law enforcement's efforts to capture the person of interest, Robert Card.
Just euthanize him.
To hold whoever is responsible for this atrocity accountable under the full force of state and federal law, and to seek full justice for the victims and their families. We cannot, and we will not rest in this endeavor. My administration is coordinating closely with local, regional, and federal officials to respond to this shooting. I have spoken twice with President Biden. I've spoken with Vice President Harris, Secretary of Homeland Security in my office, and Secretary of Health and Human Services, Becerra, all of whom have called me last night to express the Biden administration's full and unwavering support and to offer any and all help that we, the people of Maine, might require. The governors of our neighboring New England states and of other states have contacted me to offer aid, and I'm sincerely grateful for their friendship and support. We've been in touch with every member of the Maine congressional delegation, all of whom have offered their full support, for which I am also grateful. I also spoke with Mayor Carl Chalene and Auburn Mayor, Jason Levesque last night to reiterate that we are standing by them and that we are ready to provide any help people in these communities need and to deploy all available state resources, including grief counselors and other mental health services. We need to help our communities heal. If you or a person you love needs someone to talk to during this difficult time, please call or text 988 for free and confidential counseling. 988. Look, Lewiston is a special place. It's a close-knit community with a long history of hard work, of persistence, of faith, of opening its big heart to people everywhere. Lewiston is where I worked for years. It's where I met and married my husband and where our girls went to school. I love this place just as I love our whole state with my entire heart. I'm so deeply saddened, as is every one of the 1.3 million people of this beautiful state. This city did not deserve this terrible assault on its citizens, on its peace of mind, on its sense of security. No city does, no state, no people. No words can truly or fully measure the grief of many people today. Our small state of just 1.3 million people has long been known as one of the safest states in the nation. This attack strikes at the very heart of who we are and the values we hold dear for this precious place we call home. All Maine people are sharing in the sorrow of the families who lost loved ones last night. Loved ones, normal people who were killed or injured while unwinding from a day of work or while spending time with their family and friends, socializing. So on behalf of the 1.3 million people of the whole state of Maine, I hold these families and this city in my heart today. I know that the people of Lewiston are enduring immeasurable pain. I wish I could take that pain off your hearts, off your shoulders, but I promise you this, we will all help you carry that grief. I ask Maine people to join me in offering our comfort to the families and friends who have lost someone, and in offering our prayers for swift recovery for those who are healing in Maine's hospitals today. This is a dark day for Maine. I know it's hard for us to think about healing when our hearts are broken. But I want every person in Maine to know that we will heal together. We are strong, we are resilient, we are a very caring people. In the days and weeks ahead, we will need to lean on those qualities more than ever before. As we move forward, struggling as we may, let us wrap our arms around one another, offer comfort and solace and love. I know the Maine State Police will continue to release information to the public as we confirm it, and information about any steps that the public might take to support the people of Lewiston at this time. May God bless the people of Lewiston and bless the memories of those we lost. Thank you. I'm going to turn it over to Commissioner Sajak.
Thank you very much, Governor. We certainly appreciate your support. The city of Lewiston does, the state of Maine, and certainly our first responders. We feel that love every day, and thank you very much for that. I would also say that we want to say thank you to really a large number of other elected officials across our state, whether that's the federal delegation, local elected officials, and many others that are part of organizations or law enforcement agencies that truly wanted to join us today at this particular press event and wanted to speak on behalf of their communities. And as the governor had mentioned, and everybody else will reiterate, our reality for today is that this suspect is still at large. And we want to provide community support for the victims, for the families, and the communities across the state. But we also have an incredibly strong laser-like focus on bringing this suspect into custody and ultimately to justice. So because of that mission for this particular event and today's activities, we're keeping the list of speakers and the agenda pretty tight. And that will include next up at the podium would be Chief Dave St. Pierre from the city of Lewiston, and some other members of his command staff are present. What I will say to the city of Lewiston, and you know this because you feel it every day, but you're lucky to have a chief like Chief St. Pierre and his entire law enforcement agency. From every level, those officers put their heart and their soul on the line on behalf of their community last night and into today. And they're doing it for the right reasons. They do it because they care. So the city of Lewiston and truly our co-responder family across the state of Maine is lucky to have Dave and his team in the mix with us. And we're also going to hear from Colonel William Ross from the Maine State Police. And Bill will highlight some of the timeline things that you're probably concerned about and certainly interested in from a story perspective. So the Colonel will come up and speak to that. And we'll also have Jody Cohen. And Jody is the special agent in charge for the FBI out of the Boston field office. And Jody will highlight some of those federal partnerships and some of the things that our federal partners are bringing to the table, bringing to bear to help us with this investigation. We also have a bunch of people here. Once you start naming people, you're going to have a problem because you're going to forget somebody or screw something up. But I would also tell you that a couple of our other federal partners are here. Kevin Neal, who's the U.S. Marshal for the District of Maine. We also have James Ferguson, and Jim is the special agent in charge from the ATF for the Boston Field Division. They are heavily invested with staff along with the FBI, and we can't thank them enough for all that they're doing on behalf of our state. I would also tell you that we are going to close with a brief Q&A, and we're going to try to get some of those questions out there. We appreciate your time, your patience, your professionalism, your partnership at getting this information out. I would think that those questions are going to be brief because, again, we do have a suspect at large. And while you can help us with that, we also need to get back to our teams to push forward on that. So with that in mind, I will be back up to the podium to kind of steer that a little bit. But for starters, I would like Chief St. Pierre to join us.
Thank you. Thank you, Director Sajak, and welcome media partners, and thank you, Governor Mills, for those kind words. I'm going to keep this short. What I would like the very most is to express our deepest sympathies to the families and friends of the victims of this heinous crime. This is truly a tragedy that goes beyond comprehension. I'm confident in our community, that our community has and will continue to come together throughout this endeavor to bring this to a successful conclusion. Although difficult, I do ask the public to continue to be mindful of their own personal safety and also that they be patient with the process as much as possible. There is extensive work and attention to detail that goes into such a large-scale investigation. I'm confident in the expertise and professionalism of our investigators and all law enforcement officials that are currently involved. This is an all-hands-on-deck approach. We have a great deal of collaboration and resources that have been made available to us. There are far too many to name individually, but I think Director Sajak named quite a few appropriately. There are far too many, as I stated, but they are all appreciated more than you know. I want to thank all of our brave men and women of the Lewiston Police Department, Fire Department staff, medical personnel, first responders of any kind that came from far and wide and have come together and continue to work tirelessly in bringing this situation to an end. We hope to locate and hold the person accountable. I think you'll hear next from the state police, who is taking the lead in this investigation. Although that we are working hand in hand with them, I think Colonel Ross will be able to fill you in on a little bit more.
Thank you, Chief. First and foremost, this is an ongoing homicide investigation and search for the person that is responsible for it. We're in the early stages of this investigation, and I just want to let you know we will have updates. We'll be putting some type of a schedule out later on. But again, early stages of a homicide investigation, we want to be careful that we're doing things correctly. We want to get ahead of ourselves. I'm going to give you a bit of a timeline here to kind of fill in some of the blanks and give you some of the facts as we know them right now. A lot of this information will then be transferred to the Attorney General's office, as they will be the lead prosecutor, again, in any homicide investigation. Last night, October 25th at approximately 6:56 p.m., the Auburn Communications Center received a 911 call of a male shooting in Just in Time, or the Spare Time Recreation Center in the town of Lewiston, located at 24 Mollison Way in Lewiston. Shortly after that, at about 7:08 p.m., the Communications Center received multiple 911 calls about an active shooter inside of a Smenji's Billiards at 553 Lincoln Street in the town of Lewiston. A large law enforcement response from multiple surrounding agencies assisted the Lewiston Police Department in trying to identify who this individual was and what was happening. As you can imagine, this was a very fast-paced, fast-moving, very fluid scene, very dangerous scene that these guys and girls were going into. 18 people are now deceased at this time. The victims at the just-in-time establishment, 7 people are deceased there, 1 female and 6 males, all from an apparent gunshot wound. Victims at the Schmegli's Billiards, 8 are deceased. 7 males inside the establishment, 1 male outside of the establishment. Again, also apparent gunshot wounds. Multiple people were transferred to area hospitals, Central Maine Medical Center, St. Mary's, and Maine Medical Center. 3 people that were transferred to those hospitals are deceased, for a total of 18 people deceased at this time. The investigation into the person responsible for this identified a vehicle located at the Projepscott boat landing in Lisbon. That person, through the registration of that vehicle, was identified, as been stated earlier, as a Robert Card, born in 1983. Several of the deceased have been identified, and their families, next of kin, have been notified. Approximately 8 people at this point have been identified. 10 people, 10 of these victims still need to be identified at this time. Currently, there is an arrest warrant for 8 counts of murder for Mr. Card. And the reason it's 8 counts because 10 people have not yet been identified. As those people are identified, the counts will probably go to the total of 18. He should be considered armed and dangerous. Based on our investigation, we believe this is someone that should not be approached. This is someone that should be, if you come into any contact with this individual or someone that you think looks like this individual, you were to call 911, and I'll provide some tip line numbers at the conclusion of my briefing. Lewiston Police Department, federal, state, county, and other local municipalities are involved in a coordinated search at this moment for this individual. So there's the ongoing investigation and there's a search to apprehend this person. Both happen simultaneously. I can't stress this enough. This is an ongoing investigation in the early stages. More information will come out in conjunction with the Attorney General's office as the lead prosecutor. We can't share all of our information right now, and I'm sure you understand that. I'm going to give out 2 numbers that go to a tip line. 911 is also appropriate for this, but if anyone can call these 2 numbers, this would go to the state police tip line. Area code 207-213-9526.
All right.
207-509-9002. And we'll be sending something out later that has that information in it if you weren't able to grab that now. Again, this is a very fluid situation. We have a lot of resources, as Chief St. Pierre had mentioned earlier, that are on the ground in a coordinated effort to apprehend this individual. We've notified the Department of Education, and they have determined what they're going to do with the schools. A lot of schools, area schools, were shut down today based on our conversation with them. Again, as more information comes in, we'll be providing it to you. Thank you for your time. This is a very difficult time for, I think, the community of Lewiston, difficult time for obviously the victims' families. And it's a tough time for law enforcement. It was a rough night last night, but we're committed to bringing whoever's responsible to justice. And again, we are currently looking for Mr. Card right now, someone that we'd like to apprehend. Thank you.
Thank you, Colonel. And FBI Special Agent in Charge, Cullen, if you could join me, please.
Thank you. My name is Jody Cohen. I'm the Special Agent in Charge of FBI Boston Division, which covers the state of Maine. Our hearts go out to everyone who was impacted as a result of the senseless violence. The FBI is working hand in hand with our law enforcement partners. Our evidence response team is here processing these very extensive scenes. We are providing investigative and tactical support, as well as our victim specialists are working with those affected by this tragedy. As this very active investigations continues to unfold, we're asking the public to stay vigilant and come forward with any information that you might have that you feel is helpful to our investigators. My pledge is that the FBI will carry out this investigative case with rigor. We will work day and night alongside our law enforcement partners to get the answers to the questions this community deserves. We thank the public for your continued cooperation and patience as we continue to work this very active investigation. Thank you.
Appreciate that. And I would say that the reality here from a resource standpoint is that when we've asked for anything, the answer's been yes, period. Tactical teams, evidence response teams, full-blown investigative units, detective units that have come from multiple states, whether it's the commissioners from Vermont and New Hampshire reaching out to me directly, Massachusetts saying, what do you need, Mike? What can we do for the state of Maine? So we are now prepared to try to take a few questions and keep in mind again that we may not be able to answer as in depth as you would like, and we don't plan on taking a great deal of questions. I think follow-up press events will allow for that. Sir?
So no one has really talked about the weapon that was used here, the AR style. So someone can talk about that. But the other thing here is there are reports that this individual had mental health issues, that he made threats to shoot up the National Guard. So clearly there were some signs there that he was on someone's radar. The question becomes, why was he in possession of this weapon? And certainly, why wasn't he stopped sooner?
Yeah, I think those are all valid questions, and certainly questions that we are looking into now, but not questions that we can answer today. Considering that this occurred last night, there's still an active search for the suspect in question. So I can appreciate those questions, but not something we're going to be able to answer right now.
Is it something that you're investigating?
It is certainly one of those things that we want to follow up on, all aspects of that. Go ahead, right here. Yes.
Give us a sense of the ages of who has died, how many are under 18 and how many are over 18?
I'm not sure we have that information with us today. We wanted to break it down by gender because that's something we had readily available. We did not break this down into age ranges at all.
So what can you tell us? What can you tell us about the background of the suspect in this case, or I should say the person of interest? Because I noticed the language is very clear. It's like person of interest, not suspect. So why use that terminology? What can you tell us about his background?
Yeah, I think we used person of interest last night for half of the room that was here for that press event. As the Colonel had mentioned, there is now arrest warrants for murder for this particular individual, Mr. Card. So he is viewed as a suspect, and there's a full court press by all of our partners to bring him into custody. What was the second piece of that question?
What can you tell us about his background? Someone had asked a second ago about the idea that he had voiced concerns about his own mental health, right? Had been committed, according to language in police bulletin, to a mental health facility for weeks. How could someone who fits that profile still be in possession of semi-automatic weapons?
Well, I do think that the statutes around firearms and the possession of those are pretty complex. I know that we will be reviewing that information as we move forward, but that's not an answer that we're prepared to give today, because that leads to motive. You're talking about behavioral health issues and how that impacts this situation. I would expect you'll hear back from us on that in the future. Right here.
Yeah, I've got a question about, we've seen helicopters as far north as Monmouth. Can you tell us anything about what's leading you, that far north of the scene where you found the car?
Yeah, sure. So we have law enforcement assets that are deployed over a number of communities doing follow-ups on a number of different things. So as you can imagine, there's a great deal of search warrants that we're following up on. We do have partners, that helicopters from the New Hampshire State Police. That copter was here last night to assist us as well. So whether we have tactical elements out or we're searching an area, some of those air assets would be very, very valuable for us. So that's what they're doing.
That's leading you there?
We're not going to speak to what brings us to a specific community one way or the other. Yes.
Identifying the unidentified victims, what are people encouraged to do? Is there DNA being, tested from family members? Do they have missing loved ones? Like, what is that? What's that approach right now?
Yeah, so we did have a family our reunification center opened last night. We do have behavioral health liaisons that are fully engaged to work with families and work with loved ones. And work with victims, for that matter, that may be in the hospital and seeking treatment. So those things are actively occurring. We are dealing with each one of those situations separately. So do we need DNA on that? Are we just waiting to find a loved one, some kind of family member that we can make a notification? I think that varies across the board. I'm going to take two more questions. Right here.
Yes, was there some sort of triggering event? Is that something that you're investigating?
I think we're always concerned around motive. That you say triggering event, that's a motive for us. Again, that's not something we're prepared to discuss today, but I do appreciate the question. It's clearly something that's important. One additional follow-up from you.
Can you help us understand why these locations, why this bar, why this bowling alley? What's he looking for someone? What's he looking for something?
I think that does speak to motive, so I appreciate the follow-up, but not something we're going to be prepared to answer today. And then one more question, right here, sir. Right here.
Can you say, is card, first off, to clarify, but your arrest warrant is issued today, and can you say if card is still in the state where he's still alive?
Well, we're actively searching for him. If I knew the answers to those questions, and this would be a different press conference, I would assume. So we don't know his location, and I'll leave it at that. And we are working with the Attorney General's office reference to those questions. So with that in mind, we're done taking questions for now. So we are going to actually take off at this point. Thank you very much for being here. I appreciate that.
Have there been any credible weddings? We've not really gotten any answers.
All right, you've been listening to officials here in Lewiston, Maine, talking about this deadly mass shooting here. The death toll sadly increasing to 18 now, 13 people injured. We're getting a little bit more information about the victims and more information about the timeline, but the key thing that they're highlighting here is that this is very much an active manhunt. Multiple agencies still on the ground looking for 40-year-old Robert Card. He is considered armed and dangerous. Last night, just a person of interest. Today, they are calling him a suspect, and in fact, they've already charged him with 8 counts of murder. Now, remember, the death toll is 18, but what they're saying is they're going to charge him now with 8 people who've already been identified. 10 other victims, sadly, have not been identified. Let's bring in some of our correspondents who are following this story as well. Our senior investigative reporter, Aaron Katursky, has been digging into the suspect here, Aaron, and we did get a little bit more information today.
We did. The authorities said they are looking into prior mental health issues as they search for Robert Card and try to understand why he allegedly committed these murders with a high-powered rifle that he had access to. We understand that for 2 weeks this past summer, Card had checked himself into a mental health facility. He had been reporting seeing visions in his head and hearing voices in his head. And also there were threats that he apparently made to shoot up a National Guard base in Saco, Maine. The authorities didn't specify those things, but they did say mental health issues are now being explored, even as one of the police officials put it, this is an all-hands-on-deck approach to try to locate Robert Card before he can cause any more carnage with.
And Aaron, as you were speaking there, just to note to our viewers, they've been seeing these surveillance videos or surveillance images of the suspect. This was as he was walking into that bowling alley. There was a children's event that was taking place here. Witnesses telling us it was absolute horror. Parents were jumping on their kids, trying to shield them from the bullets. We don't have a ton of information about the ages of the victims, but we are getting a little bit more on the timeline and who at least some of these victims are. Let's bring in our Trevor Ault, who is at a hospital here in Lewiston, Maine. Trevor?
Yeah, so when overnight, in the midst of all this chaos, we actually couldn't get a clear answer from the hospitals as to how many people they were treating. And we know now from officials, as we've mentioned over and over, 18 people killed and 13 people injured, more than 30 total victims. And it speaks to the scope of this massacre. The fact that still now, almost 17 hours after those first shots were fired, more than half of the victims who have been killed have not yet been identified. Now, those 13 people who have been injured, that we are still waiting to gather some information on their conditions. We can glean a little bit from that information. It was feared that there were dozens of people who were wounded. 13 fewer than that. It is still horrifying. It should hopefully lighten the strain a little bit for these medical teams that are working to save their lives. But still, in an area of this population, 13 simultaneous gunshot victims is going to cause a ton of strain. And we know that a number of hospitals in the area have been activating all available personnel, calling them all in. We've been watching through the morning as many doctors and nurses have been showing up here, coming in ready to work, and they're doing so with walking into work past officers who are armed with long guns, because this is happening as the community here is still on lockdown. Of course, the medical staff has to do their job. They're certainly more than capable and trained in treating gunshot victims. But the fact that this community now, after this awful tragedy, is largely forced to stay home when they have to grieve is unimaginable in the midst of an already unimaginable tragedy.
Yeah, this tight-knit community, people not even having the opportunity to grieve when they're gripped by fear. Businesses close, schools close, people told to stay inside and lock their doors. I do want to bring back Aaron Katursky again, because, Aaron, we are getting more information about the timeline, and also, as Trevor pointed out there, a bit more information about some of the victims, too.
The first shots were fired just before 7 p.m. 6:56 p.m. was when the first 911 call came in to the police for a shooting at the bowling alley there where you are, Whit. And it was at that bowling alley where 7 people were shot and killed, 6 males, 1 female. From there, the shooting took place at a pool hall and bar where 8 people were shot and killed, 7 men inside, 7 males inside that bar, 1 male outside. So you do get a sense that this shooting had multiple scenes and multiple movements from the alleged gunman, Robert Card. 3 victims who were shot in some of these locations died at the hospital, according to police, and they are now working to identify all of them.
And again, authorities still looking for the suspect, Robert Card, where they did find his vehicle last night in a different part of town, a white Subaru hatchback that was left with the door open and the lights on, but they have not been able to track him down. I do want to bring in our Chief Justice correspondent, Pierre Thomas, because, Pierre, you've been digging into the big picture a little more here, and this is shaping up to be the deadliest mass shooting so far of 2023.
It is the worst mass shooting since the Uvalde massacre involving those children last year with. And law enforcement officials are emphasizing that this man is extremely dangerous. You notice during the press conference, they emphasized, do not approach this man. And it's the reason is because of the information they have that we reviewed from law enforcement officials regarding his mental health status. A person who is highly trained in firearms, a firearms instructor, according to our sources, a person who, as Aaron pointed out, had mental health crises that had been reported. And the main thing right now that sources are telling me, the reason why you have the FBI, U.S. Marshals, and ATF involved is they need to try to pin this person in to make sure they do not get outside of that region with. And right now, law enforcement officials say this comes amid a massive increase in the number of mass shootings. We used to average less than 400 in 2019. Ever since then, we've averaged no fewer than 600 mass shootings per year. So far this year, over 500 mass shootings, 601 people killed, 2,300 people injured.
Just staggering numbers. And the governor today, Janet Mills, pointing out, she said to the people who live here, this tight-knit community, she said, I wish I could take that pain off your hearts, off your souls. She said, this attack strikes at who we are in this precious place we call home. Our thanks to our entire team here. We're going to have much more coverage throughout the day on ABC News, on abcnews.com. You can get breaking news alerts on the ABC News app, and we're streaming all day long on ABC News Live. And David Muir will be right back here tonight for a special edition of World News Tonight on the Scene. For now, I'm Whit Johnson. Have a great day.
This has been a special report from ABC News. We now join our programming in progress.
And all of the trial footage, and it was another bad day in court for you know who. Fined him 10 grand for violating.
How about that? So, people in Maine were shot by some guy over some stuff. Is it the war? I don't know. I wasn't really listening to most of that. I was in and out. I'm gardening. I got to pick parsley. I have to harvest all my summer vegetables that are starting to overripe. I don't know what you guys think, but what is shooting a bunch of innocent people playing pool? What is that going to solve? You know, come on. I can just see Joe Biden now saying, come on, man. They just want to play a little billiards. They want to hit the ball with the cue. You're mad at life? You could take your own. No one's going to stop you. But these people, hey, they live in Maine because they like lobsters. They like shrimp. Seafood, man, it's good stuff. Have you ever had a bread bowl of lobster chowder? It's good. So it's people that are dying or people that want to die, and they just say, what the hell? It's not like I'm going to get sent to prison for life. I already got a death wish, and they just go off and just do whatever. Terrible crap.
I think from now on, every time you disparage or run over some other law that gag order we've put into, it's going to cost you $10 million.
That's right, Whoopi.
Well, because I feel like he thinks $10 million, $10,000 doesn't mean anything. 10, and so he just keeps doing it. But if you had,
it's got to be a percentage of your income.
Find it quick.
Which in Donald Trump's case might be like $80.
He might shut up.
Because he does not.
Because maybe Melania technically owns everything.
In his pocket. I don't think he has that.
I think we should find out. Come on, Judge.
You know what's interesting? He said that the witness testified that he won the trial.
After this goes to commercial, I'm going to be dipping out.
Really had happened.
I don't know what to say. I don't know what to say about people shooting people in Maine. Obviously, I think we all know that shooting people is stupid, and giving people access to guns, I don't know if it can be controlled. I don't know if anything can be controlled. People say things. This whole world is built on lies, deceit, and cheaters, and that's just who we are. There's more bad people than good people. Nothing you can do about it.
Nah, he has to pay $250 million.
What are you going to do? Kill someone that wanted to die?
That's going to say that you won the trial because you already lost the trial. So
criminals aren't threatened to go to jail for a couple of years?
He lied.
If they don't get caught, they get hundreds of thousands of dollars. They do get caught. They go to jail for 6 months. They get off on good behavior because the lawyer knows how to manipulate the law, the loopholes.
Wait and see. That's why I want him to do
I don't even like politics. You guys enjoy listening. Thanks for watching my Fill in the Blanc podcast. We got ripped off. We missed pumpkin carving tips. I wanted to know how to make a professional jack-o'-lantern because I know that I need to watch daytime TV to find out how to carve a pumpkin because Lord knows I can't find out on the internet, going on YouTube or on any other damn streaming platform. The only place I could find out how to carve a lantern that is going to make no one really care. No one cares about it, and it's going to be rotten in like 2 weeks later. I have to go on this show and watch daytime talk show hosts show me and make really terrible jokes. They don't even focus on it. They make bad jokes. They do something really dumb. Oh, look, you have to sanitize your hands and use this sanitizer that you could buy on our website. Oh, get out of here.
Use us to put fear.
If you want to know how to carve a pumpkin, get a knife, get a pumpkin, get out your aggression, and the end product, stick it on your roof with a note that says,
I think I'm
boo.
going to watch this baseball metaphor, but he's losing the speed on his fastball. Like when you watch his interviews lately, this past week alone, he told a New Hampshire audience, don't vote. Just show up and make sure nothing happens.
I read that.
And then he said, Hezbollah, the terrorist organization, is very smart. Yeah. When you listen to him, this is not even the Donald Trump of 2016, which was not the most eloquent guy on the planet. He is on the decline. And I think for supporters of him, just remember, he's not out fighting for you. He's sitting in a courtroom defending himself against fraud that he engaged in.
But he is the definition of chutzpah, this guy. You know, I mean, like last week I was reading, he compared himself to Nelson Mandela, who I don't think was dating a porn star, by the way. I mean, Nelson Mandela, of all people, a man who spent his life.
He doesn't know who Nelson Mandela is. He has no idea. He has no idea. I guarantee
that he would compare himself to a man who spent his life defending civil rights, and his family, Trump's family, refused to rent to black people. That is the definition of
real quickly, before you have to do your legal notes, Betty, my favorite part was when the judge called him up because he has not been held accountable for anything. It was very slight accountability, a fraction of what he owes all of us. But he sat there and the judge is like, I do not find you a credible witness. Boom. And my kid was out, and I was like, that felt good. I was like, is that what it looks like? It's totally a lie.
I don't think he can afford the $10,000. We know he's broke.
He's broke. Oh, I have a legal note. Trump has denied all wrongdoing in the civil lawsuit brought by New York Attorney General Letitia James, calling the case a witch hunt. Trump has also continued to deny any wrongdoing and maintains his innocence in both state and federal criminal cases. He has pleaded not guilty to all charges in all 4 cases in all 4 jurisdictions.
We'll be back.
So if you're interested in The View,
I'm an insurance agent.
Go on Hulu.
I do a good bit of driving.
Go on
I have
Hulu.
to get to my clients.
They got
If I couldn't
Hulu.
get to my clients because of something wrong with my car.
Whatever. Anyways, thanks for Vanna White for wasting our time. Never watched Wheel of Fortune more than maybe 3 times a month. And usually I do because it's just what's on at 6:30 when I'm making dinner and I just play Hangman. I've never watched To Watch You. I've never watched for Pat Sajak's lame jokes. If he had good jokes, look, we all saw what the Pat Sajak show did, the syndicated show, the night show. It sucked. He'd be a comedian. Now with Netflix and stuff, he could have all these specials. Where's the Pat Sajak documentary? Everyone gets a documentary. I want to watch 7 2-hour episodes documenting and chronicling the life of Pat Sajak. I want to know what was he doing in high school when World War II was going on. I want to know who first introduced him to toupees. I want to know the Pat Sajak story. He'd be dying. He should want this. He wanted to be a comedian. He wanted to be a talk show host. He should have his own show on Tubi. Come on. I'm sure Tubi or MeTV, there's got to be a platform where he could sit there and live out his dream in his final years. If he does, I promise, after I marry your daughter, Pat, I will treat her with respect. I'm Phil DeBlanc. Thanks for watching. If you like Vanna White or Pat Sajak, you could like this video. If you dislike them, you could dislike the video. Make sure to subscribe. This was not a good video because I couldn't rewind. I couldn't go off the way I wanted to. People are shooting people and ruining my pumpkin carving tip segment. Things are not in my control, and it makes me mad. And now I might have to go back to the bottle. I have too many things going on with the weather. I don't know what to dress up for Halloween. Am I going to have chicken or pork because I don't like turkey anymore because the turkeys are real human beings just like dogs. I got pajama pants for Christmas in October from a mysterious person. They don't fit, and now my thighs are itching. Can't find my talcum powder. I don't know what to do for my fantasy football team. Should I drop Nick Folk? I don't know. And it's all because of Vanna White. And I'm not watching the rerun. Got husbands and wives bickering on TV. Thinking that telling the same damn story over and over. Like we don't remember you telling that same story 4 weeks ago about your stupid little boat. Shit. Anyways, make sure to like and subscribe for notifications. And make sure to comment and join the community so we can all grow. Because one of these days, I'm going to have my own TV show and on my own TV network, and I'm going to be just like Oprah Winfrey. All right, peace out. Love you. And my word of advice for the day is, when it snows outside and you don't have firewood, put gasoline on the snow and make a Frosty. Because Wendy will cut off her red hair, and you can make a sweater out of it. Because when Wendy's red hairs are on your chest, Frosty the Snowman turns into Santa Claus. Think about it. Take care of yourself. And Jerry Springer. Did he die? When?